Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this session at today's Tech Showcase here with Voiceform. Before I hand it on over to Philip, I just want to remind you about that chat in the Q&A box. If you have any questions, make sure to pop them in that Q&A box and we'll get to them at the end. So now I will hand it on over to you, Philip.
Thank you. Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate that very much. I can't see you all, but I appreciate you all for joining today. My name is Philip. I'm one of the co-founders here at Voiceform. Voiceform, for those of you that don't know what Voiceform is, we're a survey platform that helps you uncover both qualitative insights and quantitative insights within the same survey. So you can think of it as a combination of a traditional survey tool and an AI moderated interview tool. So what we're going to do is I figured it'd be good to get started with a quick poll that I'm going to launch right now. Let me know if you see it. And once we get a few answers there, this will just kind of set the stage for today's demo. 50-50 right now. Okay. And today I'm calling in from Toronto, Canada, by the way. So I'm not sure if we have anyone else from Canada, but it's great to see you all. Also, wherever else you are in the world, it's great to see you as well. Cool. So it looks like the majority is kind of familiar with AI moderated interviews. Great. So we'll give it a second, give it a couple more seconds here. And I'm not sure if any of you were at IIEX Austin recently. I think last week we were there. It was a great time. It was Voiceform's first time in Austin, which was cool. So we're at 14 votes now. Let's see if we can get 15. I think 14 might be it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close this poll, but it seems like for the most part, people are either very familiar, kind of familiar, and then there's a few folks that don't know what an AI moderated interview is. So today we'll just kind of cover everything. We'll go through how Voiceform works, how researchers are currently using it today, and really what's the value of Voiceform? What's the point of using Voiceform at the end of the day? So my screen is up, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. So what you see here is your Voiceform kind of account. So as I mentioned, Voiceform is a survey platform. So we just try to make it as simple as possible. And you can find us at voiceform.com. So for those of you that are maybe just joining right now, a Voiceform is any survey that contains both quantitative and qualitative voice and these kind of conversational questions in the same survey. So I'll definitely get into it now. So on the left-hand side within your team, within your account, you'll see your different teams. So maybe you have different projects or different teams that you're working on. You can collaborate with those teams, and only people part of that team can collaborate with you there. So today, let's say you want to add some team members, you just click on the gear icon and add team members, and it would invite those team members to both create surveys and also view the results and kind of go through them together. On the right-hand side, we do have a help center under documentation where you can find how to kind of do everything. But you probably won't need to visit that too much because we're going to dive into everything today. So here we have two demos that I've already created. One obviously has a number of responses. Or if you want to create a voice from scratch, there's a few ways to do so. So you can click create from scratch, create Voiceform, and you can either start from scratch, use one of our templates, or you can generate a Voiceform using AI and then kind of modify it. Personally, I like just starting from scratch. So what we're going to do today is just dive into this one that we've already created, just in the interest of time. So we click on it and it takes us to this kind of page. So creating a Voiceform is a very simple process. It's a 4-step process. The first step is similar to other survey tools. You kind of build it, design it, set up the logic and the different settings for the survey. So why don't we dive into it now? So under the Create tab, we'll see a few things. On the left-hand side, we have the different question types. So we just click here And we have all the kind of standard question types you'd find in a typical survey tool. So let's say we want to maybe use a matrix table. We do support matrix tables, and you can modify it quite a bit. So maybe you want to have this be a text box, and maybe this one you want to be a drop down. There's a lot of customization you can do here. And we find a lot of researchers using this matrix table, using conditional logic to link it to a voice question to uncover kind of the why behind the answer of the respondent. By the way, if anyone has any questions, I'm not sure, Bridget, if people can ask questions along the way or if we should save them for the end. But yeah, feel free to ask in the Q&A section. I think there's one. But yeah, so we support matrix tables, all the other standard question types, multiple choice, drop down, checkbox. There we go. Drop any questions you have here. That's all. So all the standard question types. But what we're known for are these voice kind of conversational questions. So in this survey, we asked, out of these hotels, which would you stay with the most? It's a drop down. They select it. And you can actually also pipe the answer from one question to another. So this can actually say, nice, why do you prefer the Marriott? Let's say I selected the Marriott. I do like the Marriott, but neither here nor there. So this is known as a voice response question. Respondents can either respond with their voice or with text. And then we can go over to the right-hand side here and toggle some settings. So we'll see that you can have a minimum response duration or a maximum response duration. And then finally, as we go down here, we have something called AI probing. This is personally my favorite feature. And this allows you to really dig deep into what folks are actually talking about. So similar to an interview, I know you saw the title, it said scaling qualitative interviews. This is what allows you to scale those qualitative interviews. So Voiceform allows you to conduct thousands of interviews at the same time. So what we'll do here is we'll play with the AI probing a bit. Let's set up to a maximum of 2 follow-ups for this question. And here, this is where we design kind of our goal for the probes or the follow-ups. So we'll say, find out where the respondent prefers to stay on vacation compared to a business trip and why. And you can kind of guide the AI prompts or the AI probes, as we call them, down any path you'd like. So you can literally ask them, find out if the respondent likes cheeseburgers, and it'll likely ask them if they like cheeseburgers and why. You can also include some specific terms. We know this is really useful for anyone doing research in healthcare or banking or maybe even insurance. We know that there's specific terms that come up for each industry, and you can kind of pop those in there to make sure our system picks up on them, and so does the transcription that we have. So we're going to test this out in a second. But before we do that, let's kind of keep moving along here. So on the right-hand side here, you can also upload an image to any voice form. You can also record audio or upload audio so they can actually hear what you're saying. So let's do that now. Hey, we'd love to hear how you prefer our hotel. And so they're going to be able to listen to your response, not only read it, or your question, not only read it, rather. So it becomes very conversational. You can also add a video link. So there will be a video playing if you'd like, or embed a video directly. Another question type we offer is a file upload question. This one is really cool because it allows you to capture not only the ability to capture a file, like have them upload a file or image, but they can actually record videos as well. So now that you can capture quantitative responses, those voice conversational responses, and also video responses, which we find are really useful too. Maybe it's something like record a video yourself. And you can also capture their screen. So maybe you want to capture something they're doing on their computer. You can do a screen capture as well. We're going to demo this in a second. Let's keep moving along. On the right-hand side, we'll also have the ability to design our voice form. So you can kind of choose the colors, choose the background, the text, and so on. You can also upload a logo to any page or the welcome page. I probably should have mentioned that this is the welcome page. This is where you can include a consent form or anything like that that is needed. So designing a voice form, yep, super easy. We support themes, colors, all that good stuff. And then you dive into the settings tab. So this is where I guess it starts to get kind of exciting. We support transcription for a number of different languages. And as of a couple days ago, we actually support translation as well. So let's say you're doing a multilingual study and you have respondents speaking Spanish, French, Italian, and a number of other languages. It'll translate it right away in that language back into English. So your respondent has a great experience, and then you have a great experience too. You don't have to go and translate those responses. So there's a number of other settings here that you can set up. There's some audio recording settings. You can toggle the you can change the buttons and all that good stuff. But let's keep moving along in the interest of time. For the logic, our conditional logic is fairly robust. So let's say we want to set up some logic where if anyone that selects, let's say the Best Western, then we just want them to drop off. Nothing against the Best Western. I'm sure it's great, but just for this demo, we want them out of here. And then let's say you want to redirect people to another page. You can always do that as well. As we go back here, maybe I'll delete this one just in case I select Best Western. The next step would be to connect your voice form. So we do see a lot of people sending data to Google Sheets or something like that to kind of analyze the data. You can either do so with either our Zapier integrations. So I believe there's 7,000 integrations here through Zapier. We also support webhooks. So you can have webhooks kind of pass the data. And then we have an API as well that makes it super easy to pass any data. And if you do need any help setting any of that up, our team's always happy to help. So now that we've covered how to build a voice form, how to design it, add the questions, how to kind of have the both quantitative questions and those more conversational AI questions, I think it's time to actually demo it and just see how it works. So we'll click share. Let's make sure it actually saved. So I'm going to go back. Yep, looks like it did save. We're going to go ahead and click copy here. So there's a few ways to share a link. Typically, most researchers are sharing a link through a voice form through a link, but there's a number of other ways to do so. We do integrate with a number of panel providers as well. We work really closely with Prolific. They're really great, so shout out to them. But there's a bunch of other ones we integrate with as well. But yeah, all you have to do is drop this link. We also embed into any web page as well. So let's go ahead and copy this and actually go through it in real time. So the pressure is on. Let's see what happens. So let's start. We're doing a hotel study. Click let's start. So you won't be able to hear this because it's in my headphones, but I can listen to this response or this question. So and then it says, out of these hotels, which would do you stay with the most? Not going to select Best Western, or maybe we should, but I'm just going to select the Marriott. Then it brings us to this question. And as you can see, it's super, super quick. So we want to make sure that it's a very quick experience and your respondents are having a great experience kind of going through these interviews rather than sitting on a traditional interview for an hour. So it says, nice, why do you prefer the hotel? And typically this would actually say, nice, why do you prefer the Marriott? So let's respond. So we can respond with text or recording. And I hope that the me being connected via microphone doesn't affect this, but let's see. I prefer this hotel because of their points program. I hope it picked up on that. Maybe because I was on. So as you can see, I know, Michael, you have a question there. I'll respond in a second. It says, can you tell me more about their points program and what specifically about it makes you choose this hotel for vacation over others? So as you can see, it identified what I said, and now it's probing, similar to a moderator. So this really allows you to scale those kind of interviews and also collect quantitative insights at the same time. So Michael Egan has a question, and it's great to meet you, Michael, and thanks for joining. Does the platform permit piped-in customization for different respondent demographics? Could you expand on that a little bit, Michael? We do permit piped-in customization for what they say. But when we dive into it and when we have more of a Q&A at the end, just because I know we're coming up on time here, but we should support that, yes. So we can also respond to this in text. And let's just say, I just like the pool. And as I mentioned, you can you can kind of set the amount of times it follows up. It says, what is it about the pool that stands out to you compared to other hotels, especially those you might consider for a business trip? And then let's just end this, nothing, and move on here. And so the next question is going to ask us for a video. So you're going to see my unblurred background where I'm sitting in my den here, but that's fine. So we're going to click, there we go, there's a picture. And we're uploaded that. We can also record a video as well, and we're done. So that has been submitted, we're done. And now let's go back to our account and see what we got there. So now we're back in our account, and it's time to view the results. Michael, yes, to answer your question, yes, we do pipe in the name, and we do offer piped in customization for what you're asking for. Happy to show it in detail, maybe on a call next week or anything like that. So as we dive into the results section, there's a few things we'll see. So this was just me making a demo survey yesterday, but typically you would see responses over time. So you could filter kind of past 30 days, 7 days. This was all in one day, so it's actually not helping us too much here. But you'll also see the sentiment as well right here with any associated with any voice response. You'll also see an overview, so the start, submissions, and all that good stuff. But let's say we want to filter by question. We'll click by question, and we'll see a few things here. Let's say we want to see everyone that answered this question. Nice. Why do you prefer the hotel? So the first thing we see is Voiceform is able to extract themes from the data collected. So the themes make it really easy to kind of go through the data and just see what's going on. So we'll see here that we have positive themes, negative themes, and this last theme here, I think it's the one I did because it's pretty random. So we'll see that 8 people actually have a preference for cleanliness in the hotel, which I don't blame them. Whereas on the negative side, people don't like dirty rooms, they dislike the minibar charges, and also dislike the no free breakfast. And can't blame them. Everyone loves free breakfast. So let's go ahead and filter these responses here. And this will filter them below. We'll also have the average sentiment per question there. So as we go down here, we'll see that we have all the responses associated with cleanliness preference. Not only do we have the audio we can listen to, but we have the transcript, which is really, really accurate as well. And this, as I mentioned, if they spoke another language, it would be translated back into English. We also support super quotes. This is a new feature we launched this week. And the reason we launched it is a number of our users, maybe some of the folks here can attest to can confirm this, but we learned that a number of our users are actually pulling quotes from the transcripts or the responses that are collected to include in a paper or a research study or a presentation. So we wanted to make it really easy and just highlight those quotes that are associated with that theme. And one response may actually have more than one theme. So we'll see, because we filtered that theme, these are the ones that we got. So now that we have, okay, let's actually filter those again. Now that we have the cleanliness preference, let's dive into a respondent view. So we'll click this one, or let's click on this one. Click on respondent view, and you can dive a bit deeper to see the more granular responses of a specific respondent. So we have this one respondent here, and here's another one. What you would see on the left-hand side is a summary of all of the respondents' responses. And this was honestly just me filling all of these out on a demo. So they're pretty random, but your respondents, these would be much more detailed. And typically with Voiceform, you're collecting anywhere from 4 to 5 times more data per question. And when you add the probes, it's even more. So you'll have all the responses here. Something we also support is the ability to capture incomplete responses. So if we have a respondent that's, let's say, halfway through and didn't submit, that would pop up here, and you can actually see it in real time. For the data that you do collect, you can export it via CSV or Excel, and within those reports, you would have all the questions, all the answers, the transcription, the audio files, everything you need. You also can have a folder where you can store the responses that you liked. So we have one there, and you can download those as well. You can also download the audio individually or all of the audio at once. So there's a lot of downloading capabilities. As far as today goes, we're done with our demo. But what I've done is I've actually created a voice form for you to try out today, just to get an idea of what it's like as a respondent. So I'm going to pop it into the chat here. Feel free to fill it out at any time. We are planning to offer a trial period for anyone that wants to just test out Voiceform. And if you would, just fill out that form right there, and you'll get a chance to fill it out. Just leave your email at the end. If not, it's totally cool. But yeah, I think we're done with our demo for today. So happy to answer any questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. There are a few questions that I want to get through before we let everyone go enjoy their Friday afternoon. So to kick things off, do you guys offer translation to the responses?
Yes, we do. I think I did mention that a few times. Yes, we do.
Awesome. Thank you. What industry is your tool best for, would you say?
I'm so sorry. My puppy is barking right now. This is not good timing. Frank, stop. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
No worries. This is like probably one of my favorite parts of doing these webinars because it just shows how, it's like we're all just really doing our lives. Oh, so cute.
So our tool, I appreciate that, and he appreciates that very much. Our tool is really great for a number of industries. We see healthcare, banking, financial services being huge, as well as consumer insights to be really big as well, CPG, and even the software industry. So it's kind of all across the board. So Voiceform is used by a number of companies in a number of different industries.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Philip. Just a reminder to all of our attendees that you will be able to watch back today's demos on our website on demand. And if you have any questions or you want to learn more, make sure that you reach out to Philip. And with that, thank you, Philip, for such a great demo, and to all of our attendees for being here. And I hope you have a great Friday afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.